Alright, we're here at Devil's Punch Bowl, as they call it in Lake Crescent, and I've heard a lot of things about this particular spot. It's deep. As you can see, this whole area has been carved out. There's this deep hole right here. So we're gonna put our camera down in there, see what we can't find. Alright, let's go. All right, let's pull it up and see what's down there, huh? Well, the punch bowl did have a bottom. It is pretty deep. It's probably like 80 feet deep. And people say it is pretty scary. It looks kind of scary. And, well, let's see. Maybe that's Cadborosaurus' home right there. I have been told that this lake is full of caves. And look at it. It's all rock. So it's probably possible. Could that little bowl right there be full of caves and maybe Cadboro homes? Let's go find out. So when we're putting the camera in the water, we're not always necessarily looking for an animal. We're also looking for, signs, little things that might say, here's something that you haven't seen before. This water is so smooth and calm. You can see every ripple right now. It's also amazing. You can see how there's this little rock shelf right here, and then the water just plunges straight down. I'm gonna see if you can't. Listen to these loud ravens. I think they don't want me around here. Over the years, there's been over 200 sightings of this creature, and all of them have been very benign. This seems to be a creature that's just trying to mind its own business. However, it looks like toothed whales like to eat it. It was found in the belly of a spermed whale. It was chased by beluga whales. We all know how tenacious our orca whale are. So, like I said, Caddy needs a space of solitude for its young. And look at this lake. Why do Lake Quinault and Lake Crescent make so much sense? These lakes are old. They were formed back with glacial ice. They're cold, filled with glacier runoff. They're pristine. There aren't very many people on these lakes. And then again, they're deep. Both of these lakes are cut deep. This water is the perfect place to hide a sea serpent. The elusive nature and the preference to open deep water is going to make this a little difficult of an animal to study. That's why there's not a lot of info yet. But when it comes into these shallows, when it comes into these lakes, it makes it a little bit more accessible. And that's where I think we're going to make our hay. I think we're going to find that Cadborosaurus, just like Ogopogo, needs these freshwater lakes. And we're going to find it. There may be other smaller tributaries. However, Lyre River connects the Lake Crescent to the Strait of Juan de Fuca, and would be the gateway for any animals coming in or through the lake, such as the salmon and Cadborosaurus. So that makes it a great point of interest for our research. I'd like to get some cameras down at in the river right there, in the mouth of the river, and see if we can't see any tracks, like where Cadborosaurus might be like slithering through the sediment and, you know, exposing newer sediment and such, like, you know, a salmon would do as they're, you know, laying their eggs and such. So there are slight nuances, slight signs that we will be looking for. This is the gateway. This is the Lyre River as it flows out of Lake Crescent. Now again, right now this river is fairly shallow, and I could probably see Cadborosaurus if he was coming through here. However, when the rains hit heavy, this river can come up pretty good. And then in spring, when we get the runoff, this river will come up a couple feet, and that'll totally hide a Cadborosaurus. So this is where we're going to focus our research and see if Caddy isn't coming in through here. You know, we already are basically on an island up here on the North Olympic Peninsula, pretty secluded. And Lake Crescent never really had any houses on it anyway. But back in the 80s, the state and federal government declared Lake Crescent part of the Olympic National Forest or Olympic National Park, one of the two. And so they declared that no one else could purchase or build houses out here. A lot of people ended up selling their houses, but there are a few left. So if there's a breeding population of Cadborosaurus, there's got to be 2, 3, 5 females in the lake. And how come we don't see her more often? Well, the houses around here, the visitors, they're mostly here in the summertime. Caddy's here in the wintertime. What was that? Something just jumped over there. Let's get this thing down on the water. And then, this is Washington. It gets dark early in the wintertime. So we might have amazing summers that last forever. But in the wintertime, the opposite is true. I mean, it's 1 o'clock, and as you can see, that sun is already starting to peak and set over those mountains, thus making Cadborosaurus way harder to see. But we got thermal, so we'll be bringing the thermal out, and we'll be scanning this lake. We'll be looking for you. We're gonna find you, Caddy. Can you see that? I don't know if I can catch that. There's something right there in the lake. Look at that. Look, right there. It's not a duck. Look, there's something moving right there. I can't tell. There's too much glare. But there's something right there in the water. Holy smokes, look at that. It's not a duck. Look, it's not. Look, it's coming up and down out of the water. There it goes. There it's back up. Oh man, I don't know if you can see this because of the glare. Dang it. Oh, that's so crazy. What is that? It's gone. That was so cool. I have no clue what that was. Right out there. I don't know, like halfway out there. I have no clue how far that is. Halfway out there, I seen this thing come up to the surface, and it starts creating this wake. And there might be too much glare, but I don't know. We'll check and see if we caught any of that. But this thing comes to the surface, causes this wake, moves back down, comes back up, moves back down, and then it's gone. But oh my goodness, that was, I think Cadborosaurus is in this lake, you guys. I got so excited about whatever it was I just saw in the lake. I set my bag and stuff down. I gotta go back and get it. Ooh, hope it's still there. Well, today was pretty exciting. I'd like to go home and start editing the video and see what we caught, if anything. I think that sun glare might have been right in our way, but man, wow, that was such an interesting sight. Anyway, I'm gonna pack this stuff up. We'll go home and we'll take a look and see what we got. Let's go. So it's the first week of December, and we've just kind of missed the big salmon push. But the salmon have just kind of come up into the lake, and I'm sure they swim through the lake and up into the tributaries. But as they're in this lake, they give Caddy a lot of good food real quick. But salmon's not the only thing in this lake. We also have kokanee and trout, and they're here all year round. However, if they were to stay in this lake all year round, they'd probably eat up that food supply pretty quick. So they're probably only in here temporary. Let's say that this picture of the Cadborosaurus when they were whaling is our best evidence. Well, this particular animal was shipped back to the Smithsonian, and they determined that it was a sperm whale fetus or baby. So then I asked the question, these whalers knew what the stomach was and knew the other parts of the whale. So when they pulled it out of the stomach, why was a sperm whale eating a baby sperm whale? That's never been documented. Secondly, a baby sperm whale would have had to been eaten in chunks, not whole. And sperm whale, as we know, they attack squid. And when they grab squid and like swallow it, you know, and they bite, swallow, bite, swallow. Similarly, they would grab a hold of Cadborosaurus and bite and swallow, kind of like eat it like a spaghetti noodle. So this thing that was found inside the belly, let's take a closer look at the picture. If it was a whale, then look at the head specifically first. The head, look at the head now of the sperm whale. The sperm whale is going to have a much more elongated head. So that is totally different. Then we look at the tail. The tail on Cadborosaurus is almost like two fused flippers, more like a seal, less like a whale. Then you want to say that maybe it was a seal or a sea lion of some sort. Well, this thing was 10 feet, a little over 10 feet long. So, you know, would be about the same size as a sea lion as far as length is concerned. But then take a look again at the shape. This thing is way more thin. The bones on this thing, the ribs on this thing are way thinner. A seal would be, again, huge in diameter, comparatively speaking. And then again, the sperm whale isn't going to just be able to swallow down a sea lion. That's just, the sea lion is just too big. It would have to chew it into pieces. And that's not what we see in this video. And then again, the fishermen that actually had hands on this species said that it was very serpent-like or very reptilian-like. And then again, Dr. Paul LeBlanc, he also concurs that this animal is probably way more similar to that of a reptile, probably way more like, I don't know, modern day alligator or something, than it would be to a whale. Even if we caught a glimpse of the Cadborosaurus today, it's just not substantial enough. We need to get to the bottom of this lake. We need to continue to dive deeper into this mystery and find Cadborosaurus. We will be back, and we will continue this research. Also, I do want to thank you for watching. Please leave any comments or suggestions of future videos, and let's try to make better videos and try to find Cadborosaurus together. Thanks for watching. Until next time.